If you met Major Anup Joseph Manjali, he would come across as a nice guy, well-spoken but perhaps a bit shy. What he would never feel necessary to share with you is the fact that he is this year's Kirti Chakra winner, the second highest peacetime gallantry award. This is what the young Major did. In September last year, this man, Major Anup Joseph Manjali, engaged and personally eliminated 3 terrorists who'd crossed over from Pakistan into a heavily forested area in the Kupwara sector of Jammu and Kashmir. Leading his patrol, the Major noticed suspicious movement in a shelter referred to as a dhok. Having cordoned off the area, he crawled to the dhok and lobbed a grenade, killing a militant. When the others fled from the area, he pulled out his personal weapon and engaged 2 terrorists, eliminating them with a burst of gunfire at a range of just 20 meters. For this, he's been awarded the second highest peacetime gallantry award, the Kirti Chakra. He was told about the honor just yesterday.
My mom was surprised. I told her yesterday afternoon. We don't discuss much about my work. So she was rather surprised to hear what happened.
Leading from the front is key to the ethos of the Indian Army, a key attribute of young officers. One of the reasons why the Indian Army suffered a disproportionately high number of officer casualties during Kargil was because very often the men leading the charge were young officers like Anup.
Any good organization, not just the army, leaders are expected to set an example. Here in the army, we're taught this right from the start, right from our training days. It just rises from the basic fact that if you're expected, to order your men into the line of fire, you're expected to do the same yourself first.
Like many other young officers guarding our borders, Anup realizes he's only as good as the men he commands. It's all about teamwork, he says, quick to point out that without his Jawans, this operation would never have happened. I'm just a professional soldier doing my job, is what this brave Kirti Chakra winner has to say. Vishnu Show for NDTV. Well, earlier today I spoke to Major Anup Joseph Manjali, the winner of the Kirti Chakra, the second highest peacetime gallantry award. I began by asking him when he found out that he was this year's awardee.
I came to know yesterday morning. My CO from 24 he called me up and told me about it.
You must have felt on top of the world, a dream absolutely for a soldier. This is what all soldiers dream about. Just tell us a little bit about what it felt like when you found out.
Oh yeah, I do feel really honored and grateful at the same time to my unit.
You led a team in this operation in eliminating those terrorists. Tell us a little bit about the men with you in this operation.
Yeah, certainly it's teamwork really. I just got the credit for it, but there were a lot of people involved in this operation, and they were equally brave, if not more than what I did.
What exactly happened in the operation? Tell us about the encounter, as it were.
We got some information about a group of 5 terrorists holed up in a hideout in our battalion AOR. This place is in Ganderbal district, and we are located in a terrain which is generally mountainous. It's the heights over there generally range from 3,000 to 4,000 feet. And as soon as we got this tip off, we launched a party. I was leading one of the columns, and we set up a cordon around the hideout. In the morning, we challenged the terrorists, and they tried to break contact. And a firefight ensued, and we eliminated 5 of these terrorists.
But it was you who lobbed the grenade and eliminated the terrorists, 2 terrorists, and in that sense led from the front. So tell us more about what you did.
Yes.
And in terms of what you did, tell us more. How long, for example, did the operation take?
The whole operation took about 2 days, but the encounter part was, of course, much shorter.
And how well trained?
A few hours, yeah.
And what about the terrorists themselves? Because in recent times, you've seen a lot of the terrorists coming in to be far better trained and better equipped than they've been in the past. How well trained or skilled were these terrorists that you'd been observing?
If they've come, I'm sure they're pretty well trained wherever they're trained. and I really can't say how good they were, but certainly they weren't any match for us.
Quite clearly they weren't. What's been the reaction of your family when you told them that you'd won the Kirti Chakra?
Well, I told my mother about this yesterday, and well, she was surprised, to say the least.
Did you ever dream about this as a young boy or a young soldier in the army, that one day you would be, you would get the Kirti Chakra, one of the highest gallantry awards?
I don't think it is the gallantry awards that drive you really. It's more of about getting the job done. We're professional soldiers. We have a job to do, and we try and focus on that. It's not really about the award as such.
All right, that's great to know on Republic Day that we've got people like you, people who aren't driven by awards or anything else, people who just have a job to do. They're professionals and do it. But tell us a little bit more about leading from the front. How is that central to the ethos of the Indian Army, something that you've been trained in?
Well, in any organization, not just the Army, your leaders expected to set an example. And it's relevant in the Army basically because you're asking your juniors to put their lives on the line. So unless you're willing to do it yourself, you really can't, you don't have the moral authority to tell someone else to do it. So it's something that's imbibed right from our training days. All
right, Major, thank you very much for speaking to us. As you can tell, not very much emotion over there from the Major. He's a professional soldier. He says he just does his job, and if medals come along, he never asks for them. If he's got them, then he's got them. That's the reaction of somebody who's being celebrated today by the nation. Well, joining us now, Rosalie Joseph, Major Anup Joseph's mother. Ma'am, I would assume you are a little bit more ecstatic or emotional than your son. I mean, he's a professional to the core, and he doesn't betray much of his emotions, but it must be fantastic for you and the family.
Yeah, you're right.
And when did you find out? Tell us a little bit about what this means to you personally, to your family.
Yesterday when I was at work, he called me up to say that he won this award, and I was really surprised because I had no clue about about the work which he was doing, because he never discussed such things with me. And then later, after a while, I just started having some mixed sort of feelings, and in the office itself I sat and cried. I don't know how, I was just crying, and somehow I managed to reach home. And then when I went through that net and all, I just came to know what had exactly happened.
Had you always wanted to be a soldier, your son?
No. Actually, as a small boy, young boy, he wanted to join in the Indian Army. But somehow, I don't know, I was not. But that was his determination. And then finally, we couldn't change his determination, and he joined in the Army.
What is Go ahead, ma'am.
Sorry. No, and see, actually, my husband is not there with me to share this joy with us. Mm-hmm. I wish, if he was there, because...
Ma'am, I'm sure he's there somewhere and extremely proud, as all of us are. Yeah. What does the Army mean to your son?
I'm sorry?
What does the Army mean to your son?
Yeah, as I told you, from his childhood, he wanted to join in the Army. He was, all the time, he used to watch only the movies, with the war, and, even the books also. So I never, whenever, the TV is on, so I said, what Anup, what are you watching? I don't want to watch this, only you will be able to enjoy. So that is how he was.
Well, ma'am, he's...
And, after he, passed out the 12th.
Yes.
Then we had taken him admission for engineering.
Yes.
And then he said, no, I'm going to join in the Army. I don't want to go further. So and then finally he made it. Yeah.
Well, ma'am, congratulations. I mean, you are a very proud mother tonight, but the nation is proud for your son, what he's done. He's taken on terrorists personally with his team. He believes in the cause, and we are celebrating him and his achievement today. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about
Thank you.
your
Thank
son
you.
today. Thank you very much indeed.
India's #1 news app. Just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.